Hey everybody, welcome back to another tutorial for Krita. This is the newest release, I believe, which is Krita 4.0.1. If the last time I checked, that was the latest release to fix some bugs. Today I'm going to be going over the paint bucket tool, the gradient tool, the eyedropper, and the smart patch tool. I won't be going over the color mask tool because that deserves a video all of its own, and I kind of want to share some ways to get around any mistakes you might make or how to handle the tool better. Alright, so let's just get started with some simple paint bucket. I mean, if you've worked in any program, Microsoft Paint, whatever, it just fills in whatever section you have. So if I just make this bigger, a solid black circle, filling it with black. You fill it in, and there you go. It's not perfect, it can give you some messy edges, but it's great for filling in some, for anything really. I mean, it's a paint bucket tool, not much else to say about it. In the tool options though, you do want to keep in mind you can limit it to the current layer, or it can affect every layer that's visible. I recommend keeping it to current layer unless there's something special you're doing which you want to fill in with all the layers. You can feather it, like give it a softer edge when you're filling in. Just change it back to black. Back here. So if you want a little bit of a softer fill, you can see it's a little fuzzy now, which gives it a neat little glow too. So you can play with that. You can use pattern, you fill the entire selection. You don't have anything selected, so it's going to fill the whole layer. Kind of similar to the selection tool with these these tool options here. Alright, and then the gradient tool, kind of similar. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing in Photoshop or Inkscape or Illustrator. You drag and you just get gradients. Now if you want to change the colors, that's up here. You can hit edit and you can change this color. We'll just say that's a beautiful purple, and click, oops, and hit OK. And then if you want to switch those colors, we're going to change that to that. Click on that one. Alright, so change that to, let's change it to red. There we go. Alright, so right now it was in the default to transparent. Just click on the little arrow to change the color. The ones with the white outline, those are the ones that are not selected. As you can see, this is like a bluish outline. It's a little hard to see, but I think it's bigger. It doesn't really help with the triangle, sorry. But, you know, you get the idea. So I'll just keep that nice peachy reddish color and purple. Click and drag. It's a gradient. There are a bunch of preset options here. Some crazy fall colors. Transparent ones with, oh, it's called steel bars. No. That's interesting. So yeah, you can play with that. I recommend, you know, getting used to making your own though. Oops. So that's the gradient tool. And also you have the tool options again. You can make it radial if you want. So I'm still on the steel bars and making steel circles. Back to here. So the purple is going to be in the middle, the reddish color is on the outside. You can change the type of repeat. So go to linear, let's do alternating. It's kind of starting to repeat. Let me make that smaller. There you go. You can see it's repeating the type of gradient into almost like a pattern. That's forward, so it's making a solid line to where that red is. So basically it's going to look exactly like this here, this sharp edge. Oops. So yeah, square. Woo, that's kind of cool. So yeah, just play with it. You know, you can keep putting a gradient over a gradient. I don't think it affects anything. It just, you know, kind of redoes the whole thing. I know in other programs it does not act the same way. So yeah, that's the gradient tool. I'm just gonna Control A and delete that whole layer. And then get rid of this here. Can't see that. Alright, that's perfect. So this is just taking color selection from your layers. Right now it's sampling all the visible layers, so if I have, let's say I'm gonna make this a little transparent so we can get some other color in here. Go back to the eyedropper tool. So even though I'm on the bottom layer where I didn't make this opacity brush on there, I can still select that color. Now when I go to, now I can use that color on any layer I want, which can be very useful, especially when you're doing shading. Now if you just want the color on that layer itself, make sure to sample only the current layer. So now I can't get that mid-tone here. I can't get that purplish or that lighter blue. I can only get these 3 solid colors I made. I can add it to my palette, can make my own, can show the colors as percentages, so in here the value. If you're doing some crazy color stuff, that might be beneficial to you, but these are just the RGB values. Those I'm more comfortable using, so that's what I stick with. And then the sample radius, if you're doing some crazy color and you want to sample a bigger area, you can make that too. I mean, actually, let's go up here. Or all layers. So I'm getting a wider range with limited movement. I'm going to keep that to 1. So yeah, that's pretty much the tool or the color selector. And then the Smart Patch tool is more relative to photo editing. I think it was this one. Yeah. So it kind of works like the clone tool in Photoshop. That's similar. So I have this lovely old image here. I don't want any of these people here. Under tool options, I'm just can't go farther than 8. I'm just going to put that back down to where it should be in the middle, and I'm going to do just 5. Had my brush on the wrong size, so this is going to take a while. But basically, I'm telling Krita that I want this section that's covered in pink removed, and I did a bad mistake. I made the brush too big. So it's going to take a while to load. So I'll probably speed through this so you don't have to sit here waiting like me. As you can see, it did make some changes. The buildings back here are pretty much morphing into the sand. I'm just going to undo that. Actually, I'm going to show you what it's doing. Yep. So this whole section here was covered in pink, so it's trying to kind of remove it. Unfortunately, it's too big of an area for it to test, so the brush size is going to affect the size of the brush for the Smart Patch tool. I recommend using a smaller size for now. Alright, so let's get rid of this person right here. Scribble over them in pink. It defaults to pink for the color, by the way. He's pretty much gone. Now, this is a really low-res, crappy image from my phone from like a gazillion years ago. So a better quality image is probably going to turn out a lot better. Alright, we'll take out this one. They're gone. This one. They're gone. Gone. Beach is slowly becoming unpopulated. Just gonna clean this up a little bit. there's almost nobody on the beach. So, I mean, this is a pretty low-res image, so you can't quite tell the difference anyway. But that's pretty much it for that tool. So the patch radius, I mean, I can make a bigger selection so it affects more around it. Just going to pull more of the background or whatever pixels are nearest to it and help it remove, quote unquote, whatever you're coloring over or masking out. So yeah, if you're bored, you can always just scribble a bunch of random images and take stuff out. This, I believe, is a trash can. Taking it out anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that tool. Alright, hopefully these tools are useful to you guys. If you want to dabble in some photo editing, I think this is a great introduction to it. It's a very simple tool, very simple feature, requires minimal effort on your part. Definitely try it out. Even if it's a crappy image, if you want to try it with this image, let me know and I can link it somewhere on my website or wherever. You guys can play with it. Show me what you can do with this crappy image. I don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please like the video. If you didn't like something about it, let me know in the comments. If you'd like me to talk about any other tools I haven't talked about yet next, also let me know. I do have my Ko-fi and my Patreon account linked below. So if you want to throw a couple bucks my way, the support is definitely appreciated. Make sure to follow me on my social media accounts, which are on my YouTube page. And yeah, that'll be it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that should be coming out shortly after this one. Thanks and have a good one.